Who's first?
Fernando, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How you?
Good. Can you just talk a little bit about what were your biggest takeaways from the bye week, going over everything and looking over the first 5 games of the season, kind of what your biggest takeaways were?
Well, we analyzed ourselves over the bye week for sure. We did a lot of self-scout, offense, defense, and special teams. There's no need for no overhaul. I mean, I know we're 1-4, but we're going to tweak some things a little bit that I believe will make a difference, and we'll see from there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach. Just overall, how much healthier are you guys now as compared to heading into the bye week?
Well, I hope to get Melvin back, hope to get JJ back, and that's a couple of starters, but that's about all I'm really counting on. After that, guys are still healing, they're still getting better.
So, would it be possible for Mel and Justin to be back this week, or are you sort of targeting next week?
Well, I want to wait and see how this week go of practice, but we're definitely going to start working those guys back in practice with them individual periods and just see how much they can handle. And if they do make it back, obviously they won't be on a full play count. We have to monitor that time.
And then just with the offensive linemen that are injured, Brian Bulaga and Trey Turner, are they healthier? Are you hoping to have them back this week, or do you include them?
They're both. They're getting better. They're getting better, but they're not ready yet.
And then just with Drew Tranquil, is it still possible that he comes back this season, or has he been ruled out for the season?
I don't rule anybody out. People heal at different times. If Drew came back, though, it would be late.
And then just with, and I know you don't like to put timetables on the injuries, but just with Austin, how close is he to being back?
Again, Austin be sooner. I mean, later than sooner with Austin. He had a very serious injury there with his hamstring, and we want to make sure that he's right before he comes back.
Thank you.
Sure.
Gilbert.
Yeah, Anthony, wanted to ask you about Justin Herbert. People say he's an introvert, he's kind of shy, but now that he's a starter, is he a little more outgoing with you guys?
I think he's a little more outgoing. I think he's more outgoing than what people give him credit for, but that's okay. He's got to lead in his own way, and I think he's comfortable with who he is as a quarterback and a person. So our team responds to him, and that's really all that matters,
Looking back at the draft process, it was kind of a knock on him to be shy. Did you think that was kind of a silly notion, or what did you kind of view that aspect that he was knocked on?
I think a lot of introverts get labeled with that word shy, lack of leadership. My son's an introvert, so I raised one. I know what the tags are, but you just look at how people respond to them. That's all you need to know.
And I know it's never about one guy, but it seemed like this team really wants to win for Justin Herbert. Does that kind of show that he's won the locker room, that people want to win for him?
No, I think everybody wants to win, period. And that's where our mindset is winning, period. So it's not for any one individual. We get paid to win football games, and that's what we got to start doing.
And one more, Anthony. I hate to remind you, but you also started 0-4 as a head coach. Do you kind of share that story with Justin?
No, not really. It's not actually a good story. It started 0-4, but here we are again. We did lose 4 in a row, and I think this team has similar character to that team, and I fully expect this team to bounce back.
Thank you, Anthony.
Sure.
Cam.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for taking time with us. You talk about you raised the introvert. What are the advantages to having an introvert or Justin being an introvert? Are there some advantages to that?
I don't know if there's any advantages or disadvantages, to be honest with you. It's just, that's just his personality. We accept that, and we don't try to encourage him to be any different than just the way he wants to be, And so I want him to be very comfortable in his skin with his leadership style. And like I say, I mean, you watch the kids at Oregon, they all adjusted and related to him really well. I think guys in his locker room were doing the same thing.
Coach, you talked about doing some self-scouting over the past week and a half. From the defensive side, execution, schematics, what do you think about that? Is everything in line, or did you make some changes there?
No, we got to execute for 4 quarters. We did a lot of good things over the first 5 weeks, but we have to execute for 4 quarters. And as coaching staff, there are some things that we need to tweak as well.
Do you care to elaborate on those tweaks?
No, not really. Hopefully you see them play out on the football field.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Jeff.
Anthony, the other day you mentioned, I think, that Linville had talked to the team a little bit about some of the stuff he went through the one season. Doing that, obviously all these guys have been through, if they've been in the league, they've been through these kind of stretches. What is it about that idea of just bringing this up? Is it just to remind guys that, hey, this isn't the end of the season? Is it just kind of that to get that in their, try to get their mindset right?
I think when guys have been there before and done it, and they have that same feeling now. I think I didn't ask him to do it. He just did that on his own. He just felt like sharing with his teammates, and I think that's just part of being a leader, being a veteran player in this league, is encouraging the young guys. Hey, I've been here before, and this is how we ended up. And it was obviously a really good story. They won the Super Bowl that year, but I just think that's just part of being a leadership, and that's just his leadership style.
And then for a guy to do that who's only been on the team for a few months here and wasn't around in the offseason with what was going on, what does that say about him that he stepped up and wanted to do that?
He is a class act. I am tickled to death that we got him on this football team. He gives you everything he's got. He's not one of those veterans that have all the answers. He goes out, he does his job, and he runs, he hustles. He's exactly what you want in a veteran football player. He has a great attitude.
I can't remember if it was you or Gus said at one point that when a big guy runs, you really see it on tape.
Yeah.
I remember, was that you or was that Gus?
I don't know who said it, but it's true. When he runs, you can see it on tape, and it's good to see, and he does it every single Sunday, man.
And do people understand, if they don't watch him, how much he hustles, do you think?
I don't know what people see, I don't know how much tape people watch, but his tape is pretty good.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Joe.
Anthony, just when you did the self-scouting and everything during the bye week, your first down success rate is around 31, 32%, and you're getting behind the chains a lot. How much is that due to scheme, injuries, combination of both?
It's a combination of everything, Joe, and it's something we need to get better at. Yeah, I know exactly what that is, and we got to stay ahead of the sticks. We got to eliminate the 3 and outs. They show up more in the second half than the first half, but we got to sustain drives.
When you get behind the chains like that, Coach, just how much does that limit or kind of limit the play calls on second down?
Well, it can limit your play calls on second down because you don't want to get in a third and long situation. We all know what those stats say in third and long. So you got to call plays to get you back on schedule. And sometimes defense does their job, and it's hard to do. But it's just an area that we are focused on, and we are very aware of that, and we plan on getting better at it.
And then just how do you kind of maybe eliminate, or has there been maybe for the past month kind of a Murphy's Law feel around the team, even dating back to last season, that anything that could go wrong in a game has gone wrong and you guys have run the gamut of maybe everything?
No, we probably have run the gamut of everything, but no, we don't think that way. Everyone in this building has a positive attitude. If anything, we've learned from those last 4 games, and we're looking forward to the next one, man.
Okay, and then just last thing from me, what's your confidence level in Michael Badgley at the moment?
Very high, very high. A lot of confidence in Mike.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Dennis.
Good afternoon, Coach Lynn. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, Dennis?
I'm doing great. Statistically, on the third quarter, can you explain why your offense has been struggling in that third period, and what will it take for the offense to get in gear the second half of the season?
It starts with execution, and it starts with us too as play calling. So we just have to do a better job in our execution and how we mix in our run and our pass, and getting the ball in the hands of our playmakers. We've had turnovers, we've had offensive line breakdown, we've had crucial penalties in certain situations, and that's just not finishing football games. And we need that laser focus, stay locked in, and need to execute for 4 quarters, and that's what we plan on getting done. There are a few things that we want to change in how we do what we do, but as this quarterback grows older, we're going to put more on his plate, and we see how he handles that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Sure.
Back to Pop.
Hey, Anthony, just with Melvin and Justin Jones, just wanted to confirm, you guys designated them to return off IR on Monday, so that started that 21-day window?
Right.
Okay. And then earlier today, the Bills released Quentin Spain, a guy you coached when you were in Buffalo. Is that something you guys would potentially look into, considering the injuries? If Trey's injury is going to linger here at guard?
You know, we're open to all good players. So I'm sure there's a reason why they released him. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I mean, he's a good football player. We're definitely open to that. But right now, I like the depth that we have. And I believe that until Trey and John and Bryant gets back in the lineup, there are things that we can do with the offensive line that even help them play better.
Thanks.
Two more, Coach. Shelley.
I'm wondering about Keenan. Is he back at practice? Is he
Keenan will
healthy?
work his way back in today. He won't be at 100%, but he will get some reps in practice today, starting with individual.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
And Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Nick.
Question: what have you seen? What has been your assessments thus far with Joshua Kelly, and what are some of the things you want to implement to continue to teach him about the position and the importance of running the ball and having the ball?
I'm really excited about Joshua. I like some of the things he's done, but he's had a couple of critical fumbles, and I believe that's hurt his confidence a little bit. So I really would like to get him going again, and because I think he can help this team right now and down the road. But I'm really excited about what he's done so far. But he's a rookie; he's still learning. You know, without any off season, it's a load on his plate. You know, it's a lot of little details at that running back position that most people might not understand. But without having an off season, I think he struggled a little bit with that. But I'm just looking forward to Joshua getting back to running the way he was running early in the year and to get all his confidence back.
Are there some techniques that you can utilize as far as giving his confidence on, having
Putting
his
him
confidence
in
back?
situations where he's going to succeed for sure. You know, I think that's the number one way. But but he's a grown man. He's done it on every single level. He's always overcame and made adjustments, and I'm sure he'll do the same.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the
All right,
time.
guys.
I believe we have Justin standing by, so you want to get your questions ready for him.